Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I found this article by the Publica about men having babies. Surrogacy agency helps gay men buy children, leading to backlash and concern online. Now, the Publica does some very great reporting, which is why I use a lot of their stories in some of my videos. And this one, look, honestly, we live in a very depraved world, don't we? And I'm getting sick and tired of this whole notion that you're allowed to buy children, buy babies, and how society somehow thinks that is acceptable and that is right. Because these two gay men decide that they want to start a family together, and therefore that gives them somehow the right to buy a baby from a woman that they use as a surrogate to carry that child. It's not actually their child, believe it or not. It is the mother's child, but that child is then ripped from the mother and given over to these gay men. There's also contractual obligations that the women need to fulfill, that the gay men actually write out and say, we want her to do X, Y, and Z. So it's not really about love anymore. No, it's a contract. You're not starting a family because you actually love the person that you're with, and you can, like in a heterosexual relationship, let's say, that you can actually produce a child and you want to grow that family. No, these gay men are selfishly going, I want to have a boy or a girl and I want to raise them with my gay partner. Now, let me just be clear. Gay men should never be raising kids. It is not healthy one bit. A child needs a mother. That is a psychological as well as an evolutionary, if you want to go down that route, is what they need. And you're taking that away from a child. So this has sparked a great deal of concern and backlash online. I did several videos before I sadly had to remove them of my thoughts in regards of this transgender individual that actually had a baby through, I believe it was his sister, as the surrogate. And you have a video of him holding the baby like he's trying to have a Khloe Kardashian moment, but there's no connection. There's no real energy between that child and the dude because it's not his kid. Whereas if a mother had been holding that child, there is a bond, there is a symbiotic nature going on between the mother and the child. That is biological. That's what happens. But nowadays, it's seen as this huge lucrative industry, millions, if not billions of dollars. And essentially what this is it's sex trafficking. Not just that, but you're trafficking human beings. It's absurd. It's disgusting. It needs to be put to an end. But they won't because society goes, oh, we need to make it possible for gay men to have what they want. Just because they want something doesn't mean they should get it. The commercial surrogacy industry has grown substantially in recent years and is expected to reach a market value of $129 billion by 2032, which is just absolutely absurd, if you ask me. The increase in interest in the controversial practice has also created a rise in organizations that aim to connect expectant parents with these surrogate services. So you have an agency that has all these women that are probably in very vulnerable places and they want money, and you can get paid quite a bit of money to have a kid, but there's a lot of dangers that is involved with this service, I'll have you know. So the agency goes to the mother. We have these clients that they want to use you as a surrogate. You grow the child with inside you, and then basically they take it away from you, and you're just left with the money, but you've been through an absolute traumatic ordeal through the however many months you've carried that child, and now you've been left with nothing. Men Having Babies, MHB, is one such service. Created in 2012, it began as a peer support network for gay fathers. Now the non-for-profit connects gay men with fertility clinics, egg donors, surrogates, and law firms. They also provide financial assistance programs and advocate for legislation to make surrogacy more accessible to gay men. Why? Gee, I wonder why. Like that shouldn't be happening, but yet it is somehow. In 2021, MHB worked with Resolve, the National Infertility Association, and the National Center for Lesbian Rights to amend the Illinois Insurance Code, requiring insurance companies to offer fertility-related services for single individuals and gay couples by redefining infertility to include a person's inability to reproduce either a single individual or with a partner without medical intervention. The bill took effect in January of 2022. The anguish and yearning same-sex couples, the anguish and yearning. Okay, so we actually need to care about their feelings of the fact that they have chosen to be with someone of the same sex and they actually can't have a kid. Like, people need to realize you need a member of the opposite sex to have a child. But now they've made a way for people that are dating the same sex to have a child, but it's not actually their child. And singles, same-sex couples and singles feel when they cannot afford the expensive treatments required to counteract their social infertility is comparable to that of heterosexual couples who suffer from medical infertility. No, it's not. It's completely different. Completely different. If you are a heterosexual couple and you're trying to have a baby, that is completely different to, say, a gay person wanting to have a baby. They can't actually have a baby because they don't have a woman involved that they love and actually want to reproduce with. But a heterosexual couple that is trying but are having issues, you can't make the same correlation. It doesn't work like that, but they're trying to make it so. The non-for-profit said in a letter of support sent to Illinois legislators, and I hope to God that the legislators, well, it looks like they don't have any shred of common sense or decency about them. But anyway, on their Instagram, men having babies regularly post photos of the men who have utilized their services, typically posing with the children created through their surrogate arrangements. The overwhelming majority of the children appear to be boys, which is just sad. Just continue to indoctrinate and spread this insanity further. It's like, let's not give the child a healthy upbringing. No, let's give that child to gay parents that are going to confuse that child even more. And they're going to walk around and see other parents. There's a man and a woman and the kid. I mean, come on. Give that kid a level of like actual decency to grow up in a healthy home. One recent post features a couple named Carlos and Pat who received $100,000 in family building benefits from Pat's employer Meta to help finance the surrogate arrangement. So Meta is helping to finance this insanity. Hey, there you go. Follow the money and you more than likely find the culprits. Carlos and Pat are the founders of BUMP, Bottoms Up Movement. Where do they come up with these names? Good grief. A stand-up company that sells intimate and anal hygiene products aimed at gay men, with a portion of sales going towards making LGBT whatever family building more affordable. According to their website, which includes making contributions to men having babies, this is it, by the way, Bottoms Up Movement. Just disgusting if you ask me. We couldn't think of a better product that most gay men have experienced purchasing. BUM's website says, referring to intimate lubrication products. Good grief. The more we thought about it, though, the more sense it made. Well, clearly, the more you think about something or the more you tell yourself something, obviously it's going to make more sense to you. But for the rest of us looking in, going, what the hell? How can you say that this is right or even logical in any kind of sense of the word? It's not. If you ask me, children and families are conceived through intimacy. Could there be a more appropriate business model that helps LGBT whatever couples build their own families than a brand specializing in beauty, hygiene, and intimacy? You don't need a brand to promote any of that kind of stuff. All you need is a couple that love each other and want to start a family together. But no, you need an appropriate business model, according to these people. Under the pinned photo of Carlos and Pat posing with their infant daughter, BUM's Instagram account also features sexually suggestive ads promoting their products, including gay influencers sharing their anal sex penetration routines. Well, why is this stuff normalized? I ask this question so often, but why is it normalized? Why is, especially in the LGBT whatever community, this stuff is heavily promoted, especially to kids, and they don't see it as grooming. We see it as grooming, the ones that are looking on and going, this doesn't make any sense. But everyone else looking on that is part of the LGBT whatever group is going, oh, this is wonderful. I mean, people just need a massive slap across the face and told to wake the hell up. Another post the non-for-profit organization shared featured a gay polyamorous throuple who used a surrogate to carry at least one of their two children. Good grief. Feel for those kids. I really do. Their Instagram bio describes them as three gay guys in a committed relationship, raising a beautiful daughter and son in an ultra modern family. So, yeah, you can't call that a family, mate. You really can't. Ultra modern family. They also have shared images posing in fetish gear to promote their lifestyle on the same account. Goodness me, the degradation of society, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. The sexualization of society, I should say, as well. Yet another post that was highlighted by the organization featured a couple named Steve and Jamie who have 4 children born via surrogacy, including twins. During one of their children's gestation, Steve shared a shirtless image of himself with a sonogram taped to his stomach and the caption, 25 weeks into the pregnancy and I'm starting to show. You can tell this is not about wanting to start a family. This is about photo opportunity. This is about some kind of sick fetish for them. Here's the photo of the gay dude. Just whether you saw this as some kind of joke, I don't see it as a joke or not. He looks quite serious to me in this. And you look at the comments, handsome, people are laughing. Oh my God, abs, all that sort of stuff. Like, he shared a similar photo right before the birth of their twins last December, in which he posed shirtless, his pants pulled down, exposing his underwear, with the beginning caption, once again reading 36 weeks, 5 days pregnant with twins, and I'm finally starting to show. Steve also shared images with provocative photos of himself on the same account. He posts photos of his children doing things like blowing bubbles and celebrating birthdays. Some recent images that include children posing or posted on the Men Having Babies Instagram account include the hashtags Scuffy Gay and Gay Cute. Both hashtags lead to images of men in sexually suggestive poses in various states of undress. Like, why aren't protective child services taking these kids away from these obvious sexual deviants and perverts? But they won't. No, they're more than likely to take a child away from a healthy mother and father if that child or the parents don't want to affirm that child's gender identity nowadays. But they won't take them away when there's actual clear grooming, sexual perversion going on. Still more posts from MHB feature men who turn to surrogacy after failed efforts of adopting children and skirting around national surrogacy laws by seeking services abroad. They'll do whatever it takes to get what they want, until such time as we all stand up and we all say, hell no, this service, this practice needs to be done away with and fast, introducing further legal and logistical complications to the process. A post featuring a baby born 2.5 months preterm also showcases the potential risk of surrogacy, including increased risk of preterm birth and low birth weights in infants. Surrogates also face a number of potential health risks, including gestational diabetes, hypertension, and placenta previa, amongst other health concerns. There's stacks of risks associated with this, I'll have you know. So, while documenting the various success stories shared by MHB, the publisher noted that a number of the posts included mentions of the surrogate miscarrying one or more times. In some of the posts, the men describe the miscarriages as though they experienced it themselves, barely touching on the surrogate who would have suffered through the ordeal. It's not any skin off their nose, but if it's a photo op, we want to create emotion. Like, good grief. So here is the dudes that believe had twins and everything else. Jean Carlos, and Henry. The often bizarre verbiage has not gone unnoticed on other parts of the internet, where commentators have mocked or criticized such posts. In December of 2023, Redux co-founder Anna Slatz posted a screenshot of a success story highlighted by MHB, in which the couple is described as having gone through a miscarriage. The post also suggests, here we go, Matthew Jake went through a miscarriage, and they saw it was the most challenging part of their surrogacy journey. Trying to put all the attention on them when clearly they had nothing to do with it. Clearly, it was all the woman. Speaking to the Publica, Helen Gibson, the founder of the surrogacy concern, expressed her opposition to the rapid growth of interest in surrogacy arrangements, comparing it to human trafficking. It's exactly what it is. As campaigners for the rights of women and children, we are extremely concerned about the growth of surrogacy around the world. Not only does surrogacy remove a baby from their mother at birth, going against all guidance on infant mother bonding and attachment, but the practice exploits a woman's poverty and treats her as simply a vessel for hire. They're an object, using their ability to reproduce as something for hire. And you can literally sell almost anything nowadays if you want. There's no moral or real ethical look into it these days. Just, they don't care. Gibson's UK-based group was launched in 2023 and has since amassed over 17,000 followers on X by calling out the surrogacy industry and its lack of safeguarding. Well, I've probably got to have this girl on my show. Many people are unaware that, but surrogacy has few safeguards, and there is nothing like the level of vetting of commissioning parents that you see in adoption. Gibson explains, I would go as far as saying, go down the line of adoption. Don't go anywhere near surrogacy. We know of sexual predators who have had children with surrogate mothers. We are very worried that predatory men are using surrogacy and exploiting the lack of checks in most jurisdictions to gain access to children. It's a fetish. You're seeing a lot of this stuff on social media. They're not hiding it, but they're getting away with it because it's all under the banner of LGBT whatever nonsense. To emphasize Gibson's point, multiple disturbing cases of sexual abuse of surrogate children have emerged in recent years. As previously reported by the Publica, a well-known Chicago area veterinarian was arrested in March after possessing and exchanging child sexual abuse materials with other pedophiles. Oh, but nowadays they're called minor attracted persons. It's a actual sexual attraction. Good grief. Adam King, 36, has been nabbed by authorities just days before he was set to fly to California to collect a baby boy he and his husband had commissioned via surrogates. In another infamous case, a man from Australia was arrested in 2016 after purchasing twin baby girls via surrogate with the intention of sexually abusing them. He was arrested after sharing videos of the abuse of pedophile friends and was ultimately jailed for 22 years, which is not good enough. If you ask me, that's just too good for him. Similar, can't even say the word similarly, doesn't come off the tongue properly, people. Gay couple Mark J. Newton and Peter Truong were arrested in Los Angeles in 2011 after police discovered videos of their surrogate son being sexually abused that had been circulating amongst other pedophiles. This is really sad. Like, again, the level of depravity is just beyond. It's really hard to read this stuff and produce something without me having rage build up inside me. Police believe Newton and Truong had purchased the boy who was born in Russia for the sole purpose of exploitation. These poor kids, man. These poor, poor kids. They don't deserve any of this. Gibson emphasizes that most children purchased by commissioning parents are not tracked by authorities, and that some simply vanish without a trace after being handed over to the buyers. This cannot continue. Surrogacy is human trafficking. It must be banned globally without delay. I completely and wholeheartedly agree, and I'm sick and tired of seeing, especially these celebrities. Now, when you've got a heterosexual couple that have used surrogacy as a way to have a kid, I'm against that as well. Nobody should be using surrogacy at all. Doesn't matter if you're gay, trans, or in a heterosexual relationship. Surrogacy is wrong. It is a barbaric practice. It should never go on, and it should be stopped immediately. No person should ever be involved with this. We should not be selling children to people. Why can't adults see that? Oh, it's all under this nice, fluffy guise of this is going to help start a family. People need to get real. They need to understand the implications of this. We need to help kids that are being trafficked and abused. They didn't ask for this. They didn't have a choice in the matter. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this was probably a hard one to watch today, but appreciate you guys sticking around this long. You take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all next video.